in the sand, and these women's faces, they are in great shape. Fantastic shape. From the Night Center, Miami, Florida, ESPN presents the 1986 NBC Women's National Bodybuilding Championships. Hi, everybody. I'm Irv Brown. Welcome to Miami. Our expert analyst, Carla Dunlap. You all know her. She's a great lady, a great ambassador, former Ms. Olympia. Carla, we probably have more talent here tonight than really since I've been doing these shows I've been able to watch.
Well, I'll tell you, tonight we are going to see 125 of the nation's best women bodybuilders in 3 weight classes. I would dare say in the 6 years that I've been in this sport, I have never seen such high caliber competitors.
You mentioned 3 classifications, 3 divisions. Why 3?
Well, you see, in the international competition, the women that qualify here will go to the World Amateur Championships. And there they've had, traditionally, 3 weight classes. We have had 4. So to pull ourselves in line with international competition, we have reduced now and combined and become 3 weight classes: light, middleweight, and heavyweight.
More people competing in the lightweight division. Is there a clear-cut favorite?
I'll tell you, this competition is hot. You're going to see one of the best shows we've had in a long time. I would say my favorite is Satina Watson and Lori Okami, whom I haven't seen in a while. In the heavyweights, it's a run for the money. And middleweights, I think we're in for a few surprises.
All right, there you have it from Carla, and who knows better than her. We should have some fun here tonight. You want to stick around? We got some great bodies coming at you right after this. Lightweight competition. Let's kick it off with Jennifer Sargent, Spartanburg, South Carolina.
You know, a lot of people always give the most emphasis to the heavyweight class, but what they don't realize is that some of your tightest competition comes in the lightweight women. They seem to have more overall quality of line, and they're in better condition than many of the heavyweights.
Jennifer met someone in a spa that looked good, wanted to try it. She's won a lot of titles. Miss Virginia Southeast Regional, top 3 on the East Coast, won the North Atlantic. Carla, it's interesting because she has a background in high school. She was a varsity gymnast. Gymnastics seems to be an important part of bodybuilding.
I think the gymnastics helps anybody that has a background in that or in dance. They move well on stage, but they also have control of their physique and the development. And she is ripped and hard. She's a lot harder than many of the competitors I've seen here.
Indeed, she is. I'm going to ask you about the term ripped in a minute. Lightweight's under 114 and a half. In fact, I'll ask you about it right now because we use that term a lot. What does ripped mean?
Ripped means that she has got a high degree of muscle definition. Her body fat obviously is very low. She's not holding any water from what I can see. And she is very lean, tight. Looks like if you pinched her skin, you'd come up with nothing.
Jennifer is single, self-employed. All right, Jennifer. We had a chance to talk to Diane Vecchione. Interesting comments from Diane.
I lift year-round. I always lift. I work out. I work at a gym, so I lift off-season about 4 times a week, and I power lift. And on-season, 6 days a week, twice a day, every day.
This young lady is a certified chef. She's also a personal secretary. She manages a gym. What does she do in her spare time, Carla?
Well, from what I know of Diane, Diane has come to my gym quite a few times. She is from the Massachusetts area. Diane works very hard at what she does. She's a mother, and so, you know, you don't have the luxury of just taking care of yourself. You've got husband and family to take care of also. Diane has improved tremendously in the years that she has been competing, and she's got a good attitude about things. You know, she just doesn't get, you know, discouraged about anything. She keeps at it.
And the gym Carla Dunlap is talking about is a House of Health in Glenfield, Massachusetts. Let's give you a little plug. Let's talk about what you see here. What about her legs?
Diane's legs have improved tremendously. It used to be a weak point on Diane's physique, but she has added, I'd say, a good 10 pounds of muscle, and it's balanced.
Some of her credits, Miss Massachusetts, Miss East-West Regional. She was 3rd at Miss USA. Got a little girl that's 8 into the sport, and boy, she did a good job, and the crowd likes her. Maryanne Vecchione. All right, here's a pistol. We have seen her before, Maryanne Duffy, and she likes to talk about being healthy. I found her comments very, very interesting.
Just eat healthy. Watch your weight, but don't watch your weight. What I mean by that is let yourself get a little heavy so that you can lift the weight and you don't have to rely on other things to make you strong. And just keep a good, rigid diet. I mean, have a fun day. Make Sunday your junk day. And really, have ice cream once in a while. But just good nutrition and get into it. Get into it with somebody you love. Good guy to train with.
You find a guy to train with, Carla?
I like what she was saying. You know, a lot of bodybuilders, it's a serious sport, it's true, and diet is very important, but you can't strangle yourself. So many bodybuilders get down to the point where right before competition they're taking in only 300 calories a day, and you know what the level of starvation calorie intake is? It's 800 calories a day.
You know, Maryanne dropped down a weight class last year, too.
I think many women have because of the fact that they have combined the weight classes. The competition is actually tougher. Now you have a bigger poundage range in each class, and so many of the smaller women are getting buried by heavier women dropping down into the top of their class.
I've seen Maryanne before. She's a top girl. Has been for the last few years. Poses well. She's a pistol. Got all that energy. She's got a great back pose. Watched her this morning a little bit, Carla, and I really thought that the one thing that might hold her back, we'll see what the judges think, but if her legs were cut just a little better to go that upper body.
She's not anywhere near as hard as Sargent or Vecchione, but her stage presence really helps her.
All right, crowd likes Maryanne Duffy. And of course, Sargent came out, did a nice job, and we saw Vecchione, the mother of an 8-year-old who's involved in bodybuilding herself. All right, we've just begun. That's a song, but it's also true. We got a lot more coming up from Miami. We'll be back right after. Bodybuilding Championship. All right, Jim Mannion, the veteran judge and the president of the NPC, tells us what he is looking for.
You have to look for symmetry in the men or women, whoever you're judging, which means you want to look for balance of the right to the left side of the body, top to the bottom. It's kind of, you know, an overall look as they, you know, the male or female has. So you look for symmetry, the muscularity, the skin tone, the posing. It's a whole total package. You can't just dwell on one individual category. What you try to do is look for all three of them, really.
All right, this is Lori Okami. You'll notice a number. She is number 13 from Honolulu. We had 125. We're down to 30, 10 in each weight division.
Now, it's interesting. Lori is using the movie music, Pumping Iron 2, Future Sex. And yet she's doing a routine that is highly flavored with Hawaiian moves. As you saw that she is from Honolulu, Hawaii.
Jim Mannion, the veteran judge, is talking about symmetry, and to me, her symmetry looks good. Her skin tone looks good. She's got enough muscle. She gonna be tough?
She's a very petite woman, and she has got as much muscle on her frame as some women in the class above hers. She's a lightweight. She's got good flair to her thighs. I think her only weakness is that she isn't super hard, but with her kind of shape and balance, I don't think she's going to have too much of a problem. I liked the way she looked. I liked the way she presented herself on stage.
Carla, what about her calves? Looking at her this morning, that's the one area that...
I was about to say that. With the development of her thighs, the only thing that's a weakness is her calves.
We had a chance to talk to her earlier, and she talks about nutrition and diet. Very interesting.
I have a moderate protein diet. I consume a lot of carbs. I can take in 12 fruits a day, and I feel great. I have great workouts. Of course, I have to keep up my aerobics. Maybe about an hour to 2 hours a day of aerobics, 7 days a week.
Lori Okami, lightweight competition. Once again, 114.5 or below. That's what we're looking for. And we're looking for Carla Sadaka from Arlington, Texas. She's got a sister that will compete in heavyweight competition, Janet Grazer, so sister against sister, and yet they don't have to compete, Carla.
That's a good thing, because look at the peak on her biceps.
Oh, she's hard.
Exceptional arms.
She has got muscularity. Crisp muscularity.
And she has an amazing torso development for a woman her size. It's very balanced. She's got a torso, I would say, that looks like a small-sized Claire Fur, one of the professional bodybuilders who's known for her upper back and arm development.
This lady looks great.
Good pectorals. She's very, very thick in the pectorals. Her legs are ripped, as I said before, but she's also got some showing cross striations, which means the muscle is extremely refined. Glutes are ripped. She's in shape.
Very much so. She is going to be competitive any class.
She's doing a very strong routine.
I need a little work presenting herself, but boy, she really looked good. This is Debbie Sider now. Debbie from Burning, Maryland.
You know, a lot of people were disappointed that Debbie had come down so far in weight, but I think it was a smart move. You see, last year she placed second in the middleweights, and with the combination of the classes, she's come down. It was actually, I'd say, a well-thought-out move. She hasn't lost anything.
She was second in Detroit as a middleweight to Maryanne Jarumbo. She's married, got a 5-year-old, Sean. Her husband teaches phys ed. What's interesting to me, Debbie is a policewoman, and after having her son, she wanted to get in shape. That started 5 years ago. Can you imagine some drunk giving her a bad time? Huh?
He'd be in for a hard way to go. You know, she reminds me of the fact that Debbie, when she started, was genetically gifted to begin with. She had tremendous thigh development and overall thickness. And so her losing weight, you know, really didn't make any difference.
She does have nice thigh sweep. She's got great shoulders.
Debbie's also presenting herself well to the audience. I keep saying she hasn't lost anything. I take that back now that I'm watching this. She has lost a tad of overall muscularity. However, with her kind of thickness, doesn't seem to be that bad.
I thought she was more detailed a year ago as a middleweight, but once again, I think somebody that they're going to have to be very serious about, because she does have some serious thighs, good shoulders. They call this thigh sweep. You might explain what they're talking about.
The thigh sweep is when a woman stands straight forward, the thighs bellow out to the sides, and that indicates fullness of the development of the sides of the quadriceps. If the calf development on the side and inside balances that, it gives the legs a fully developed look.
Debbie Sider. Boy, you want to get in shape. Women after having a child, that's what she did. We got a chance to look at Lori. Okami did such a nice job. And Carla Sadaka. She looks terrific. And Debbie Sider, our policewoman who's competing. All right, we've just begun. We'll be back with more. All the action on ESPN. Listen to this.
This month, a year ago, was my first contest. Yeah, I just went into a regional, and then I went into the state championship and won that, and I said, what the heck, I'm on a roll, let's go. So here I am.
I tell you, she reminds me of watching her today, Susie Hasso.
Really? Well, I'll tell you something else interesting. This little lady is an entertainer in her own right. If you'll listen to her music, she did her own music, and she's posing to her own music.
I'll tell you one thing, she's drawing the crowd to her. Look at them.
She has a very bright personality in the tradition of a Gladys Portuguese.
Got a great attitude, tough job. She's a registered nurse in the burn ward in Cleveland. That's not easy to leave that when you go home.
She has a nice flair to her posing, but let's talk about her physique. I'd say for as far as she's come, she looks good. However, for the national level, she is going to have to put on more overall size and thickness. She lacks the side thickness in her upper body that a lot of the top competitors have. And detail. She needs to bring more detail out in her shoulders, arms, widen her back, add more depth to her legs and hands.
Taking a look at Carla, once again, admittedly a rookie, but it looks to me like the very best is ahead for her. This lady's going to get nothing but better.
She's got the potential to really take it far because she's got the hardest part of it. I mean, you know, you're going to have to develop your body, but she's got stage presence plus.
She doesn't act like a rookie. Boy, did she draw the crowd to her. Diane Garrity. First competition. Not that long ago. Did a great job. All right, we'll keep it going. This is the NPC Women's National Championship.
This is Linda Daniels.
It's Lisa Daniels. That's my mistake. I passed you the wrong information. I'll apologize for that, and you can nail me for that. Lisa Daniels.
Another one who is posing to music from Pumping Iron 2, the women.
Johnson, Vermont. Is there any particular area in the country that seems to have more bodybuilders? Notice when I did Mr. Universe, that a lot of the gentlemen from the New Jersey area. Is that true at all?
There are a few states, preferably the coastal states, usually are strongest. New York, New Jersey, California, Florida. But you got to hand it to Texas, and many of the Midwestern states are turning out, particularly in the men, are turning out some incredible world-class physiques. Speaking of world-class physiques, let's look at Lisa. Lisa is showing tremendous tricep and arm development. She's a little weak in her delts as opposed to the fullness of her biceps. She's also a tad soft in the abs, but overall, her conditioning is quite even. She's not soft here and hard there. She's got pretty good condition for the nationals.
Carla Dunlap, your best single exercise to build your abs as Lisa finishes up. What do you do to build them?
Abs are just like any other body part. You work them hard, but you depend on diet.
From Niagara Falls, New York, this is Alana Partipillo. Here's Alana, Niagara Falls. So she gets to see all the honeymooners.
Alana is what I call frighteningly hard. When she walked out on stage, just the fact that when she was standing there, you could see her glutes flex. There was no fat whatsoever in this area.
Nice back pose a moment ago. How about the whole package? What do you like? What do you dislike?
I'd say as a whole package, she needs more overall size, but for her conditioning, if she can maintain that sort of condition and put on the size that she needs, she would be a phenomenal bodybuilder. Look at the hardness.
There it is there, isn't it?
Again, though, she's very lean. And while television may add a few pounds to what she looks like, in person, she's an extremely lean bodybuilder.
What about that headband? Is that going to count off? Does that have anything to do with judging?
I'll tell you, I noted that the amateurs are different from the pros. The pros are not allowed to wear any adornment at all, and they cannot wear, as you may see many competitors in the amateurs wearing gold lame or iridescent suits. You cannot get away with that. Judges find that distracting. However, it's not so in the amateurs, so she's wearing it.
Well, the crowd liked her. Alana Partipillo from Niagara Falls, New York. This is lightweight competition. You have to be under 114 and a half. All right, a little quick tempo here. This is Linda Kettle, Crescent Springs, Kentucky.
Just when she stood up on her toes, look at those thighs.
Oh, yeah.
Tremendous thickness. Both heads on what we call the teardrops of the quadriceps are completely developed, and that's That's rare to see that sort of thickness in both heads. Many women have the outside head or the inside head, but she's got the two teardrops almost even.
A little different routine now. How do you analyze this one, Carla?
She's sticking pretty much to, I would say, I call them hybrid shots, where she's not doing hardcore double bicep, front, crab and that sort of stuff. She's doing mixes where she's basically focusing on her legs. She needs more lat width in her upper body to balance off her legs.
And she does have a great pair of legs. All right. That's all 10 lightweights. And who's going to win it? Well, we're set for the pose down. Once again, we're in Miami at the James L. Knight Center. Stick with each other, Carla. You've been involved in this. This it gets a little sticky, doesn't it?
This can be on-stage combat. What you try and do in your pose down is to lead people to look like you're controlling things.
Any surprises here? Somebody who is here that you might not have expected to be here? Somebody not here? I was impressed with Pearson. Somehow didn't do that good a job of evaluating. Great legs. Didn't make it.
Yeah. I think that it's just like any sport. You make a name for yourself, and of course you're going to be recognized there. But there are some people who made it in here strictly on the strength of their physique.
What's interesting, Carla, now, I'm trying to figure out who the girls, the women that is, think is going to win it, because I want to see who they upstage. Who's the favorite here? Okami, Duffy, Sadaka, Sider, Garrity.
I would have to count out, let's see, I think it was Sider. I don't know. I would think that some of the women are harder than Sider has been.
Well, and then I take a look. It looks, I think Garrity, the rookie, might be a little outclassed as far as this particular contest. But it's interesting to watch what they're doing. Lori Okami and Maryanne Duffy, Sadaka, Sider, and Garrity.
Whoever wins this is going to be in between. They're going to have the hardness and you're going to have shape.
All right, our PA announcer is Peter Potter. He's about ready. Let's see if we can pick up our PA announcer, Peter Potter.
And the 5th place, if you present that to number 29, Diane Garrity. Diane, if you please come out and receive the 5th place trophy.
All right, so the rookie Garrity finishes 5th, and she's happy.
She's still on a roll.
Bubbly.
All right, Diane, if you'll step up on the first platform there.
All right, this is for 4th.
Okay, the 4th place to number 28, Deb Sider.
Surprising, I think that that's not actually a come down, considering that
May's
the
going to take care
classes
of
have
there we
gotten
go.
much larger
The
from
3rd
last year.
place to number 16, Charla Sadaka.
Oh, the crowd doesn't like this.
You know why? Because the
runner-up position.
So
The
musty.
runner-up position to number 12, Maryanne Duffy.
Well, there you have it. So the winner is going to be Lori Okami. We'll wait for the official announcement.
And the
Duffy
winner of the
finishes
lightweight
second.
class, presented by our promoter, Mr. John Carl Meese, Lori Mickey Okami.
Lori Okami from Honolulu, Hawaii. Let's just look at Lori one more time. She had a balance of symmetry, and I wasn't really impressed with her hardness or conditioning. But obviously, with her presentation and everything, she put the whole thing together to win the light weights.
Lori, overall package, symmetry, and you do know how to pose.
Thank you very much. I still, don't mind me. I can't believe it. I'm just speechless. This is fantastic. Everybody told me that, you have everything that, you should have as a bodybuilder. But you don't know until you really get that trophy in your hand and they announce your name. And it happened.
How does it feel to be Hawaii's, second American class winner?
Second?
That's right. Ernie Santiago was your first one.
Oh, yeah. First female. That's great.
Lori, congratulations. You worked very hard. Once again, nice going. All right, coming up, the middleweights as we continue with the 1986 NBC Women's National Bodybuilding Championships. Hey, I got a chance to get involved in this one.
You know, a lot of couples are working out in gyms today. However, if you're working at home, here's an exercise you can do with just a towel and a sweet man. Irv is going to be working his triceps, and I'm going to be working my biceps. Grasp hold of your towel. Make sure you got a tight squeeze. And now as I pull up, Irv's going to resist against my pull, and then as he pulls down, I'm going to resist against him. So we pull up, working the biceps, and down, working the triceps. Up and down. Now this is a great resistance exercise because it really helps that chest and arms, and it's helping his triceps and your chest.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So work out together. It'll keep you in good shape.
Shame to take money for this job. Let's keep it going. Middleweights, 114 and a half to 125 and a half, and Cheryl Marshall comes out. Here's a peppy song from Long Beach, California, Cheryl Marshall.
I think this is where you begin to see just how the change in the weight classes has affected the women. Cheryl looks like a heavyweight. She's got good size. She's in incredible condition. Look at those delts.
She is in good shape. How about the legs?
Her legs are pretty well balanced. She's got good sweep to her quads, and her calves are very long. They seem to tie right into her ankles.
We're in Miami. Middleweight competition. Once again, the weights, 114 and a half to 125 and a half. Big crowd here at the James Knight Center. Let me recognize one person who's been so helpful, Steve Winterstone. Steve, the editor-in-chief of Women's Physique World. He knows what he's doing. Good man.
He's also the women's historian for the IFBB. That's because Steve has probably contributed to more women getting into bodybuilding than any person I know.
That was Cheryl Marshall. All right, this is Rhonda Lundstedt. Once again, middleweight competition. Rhonda Lundstedt. Once again from Florida, Princeton, Florida.
For those women out there who seem to think that bodybuilding is only for the young and those who are childless, Rhonda has children. She's married, and she maintains an incredible schedule between her training, taking care of the kids, the home, and competing.
Those shoulders, the arms, she's in good shape.
Last time, or I should say the first time I ever met Rhonda was at the Super Bowl of Strength, where women compete in a variety of strength feats. She was incredible, absolutely incredible.
Rhonda Lundstedt from the state of Florida. Really impressed with that upper body, though. Good back.
Rhonda's pretty balanced overall. She's a little weak on the outside of the quadriceps as opposed to her upper body. Her calves are very long. She could stand more lower body size, but for the caliber of competition she's against right now, she's right in there.
Good music, crowd tapping their toes, snapping their fingers. They're into Rhonda's routine. Let me ask you a question. What about facial beauty? How much does that have to do with judges' decisions?
When it comes to physique, nothing. But you've got to remember, we're all people, and anything that's beautiful is probably going to get more attention than something that isn't.
Crowd likes her. All right, this is the veteran Velma Buckles. We've seen Velma before. She will give you your money's worth.
Velma's a favorite of mine. From Walled Lake, Michigan. Velma is, as you said, a veteran. Velma has improved. Though I must say this year she is smaller than she was last year. And in doing so, she's lost a little of her muscularity.
I've seen her tighter. I really have.
But you will not get a better show from anyone else. Velma is up. She is always up no matter what the finishes are and what the attitude is of other people around her.
She really has put a lot of oil on. What does that have anything to do with it, Carla? Or are we reaching here?
No, people wonder why bodybuilders use oil, and that's to make the skin look moist and to highlight the muscles. However, when you're under high lighting, like you'll see on this stage, too much can create hot spots on your physique and make it hard to see definition. Sometimes sometimes that's caused because you start sweating and you actually have a sheen of sweat on top of the oil. That can't be helped. You should try and tamp yourself down with a towel before coming out on stage.
We'll try and talk to her when she comes off the stage. Velma Buckles. Got a great attitude.
Wonderful attitude. Velma needs to work on her legs, though. She really needs to add some more size to those thighs to compete against the top women. Not that she isn't one.
Well, Velma's winding this routine down. Peppy music once again.
One of the few women who utilizes the stage and gets her audience going.
Velma finishes up.
Velma, that was a wonderful routine. I mean, you're the first person I've seen that's actually played the audience. How does that feel when you get that reaction?
I love it. I love entertaining the audience. I enjoy myself on stage. I just enjoy what I'm doing. I love women's bodybuilding.
Velma, you've come down in weight. Do you think that's helped you this year?
I don't know if it has or not. This is a tougher weight class this year. I don't know which is harder, dealing with the big women or dealing with the super cut, real looking good women. But I only had to drop a pound and a quarter really on down from last year. So it was to my favor to go on down to the lighter weight class, I felt like.
Velma Buckles. Oh, she is honest. Anything she does, she's got a great attitude. All right, more middleweight competition coming up from Miami. He broke up with a fiance, lost 30 pounds. Listen.
Well, last year, if anybody's seen me in the Nationals of Detroit, I was weighed in about 137, and the USA competed in the heavy at 130, and I felt dwarfed. I was at the bottom at the weight class, and this time I decided to go in the top of the middleweight, so I'd be one of the bigger girls out there.
All right, Sue Springsteen. Mentioned she lost 30 pounds, and now she is competing in the middleweight division. San Jose, California.
No one ever mentions that Sue is one of the, what we call dual athletes in bodybuilding. Bodybuilders who also compete in powerlifting. Sue is at the top of the ladder in powerlifting. Now, I'm not sure she's still competing in powerlifting. I think she's given it up for bodybuilding completely.
And you make a great point, Carla, because her powerlifting led to bodybuilding.
If you look at her physique, she has the thickness that a bodybuilder would, a powerlifter would have. Though I think that Sue is going to now have to work on getting harder. She looks a little soft to me.
I guess when you do lose weight, that skin tends maybe to take a little longer to tighten up. You know what's interesting, though? I talked to her. She said she had broken up with her fiance, still eating a steak, drinking maybe a six-pack a night, and still losing weight.
Well, she's got a lot of muscle, so she can burn that sort of calorie intake. However, I think that she wasn't watching her water intake for this competition, and so she looks like she's retaining some water. It's not actually fat. It just looks like she's holding water.
Carla, she had a 242-pound bench press. Now, unofficially, I believe that's the best we've had. I don't know.
I've seen her lift, and she is incredibly powerful. However, you know, that does strain you after a while. It's just one of those things you have to give up.
There she is. Valerie Basilone from Indianapolis, Indiana. Last year she was
enjoying herself. She's got one of those looks on, and she's going to get those judges up on stage with her.
I'll tell you one thing, she's going to be tough to beat. She's got the whole package. Muscularity, symmetry. She's got that, look at that eye contact. You see that? She's got that unmistakable look.
That's what I was just saying, that she looks like, come on stage with me.
Boy, she playing to the judges.
You know, or you would think that a lot of people say, oh, why do that? But you have to make contact. You have to show your personality up there. And when you've got everything together in physique, you can't be a deadbeat on stage.
You saw the graphic I saw her in Detroit. I thought she was smooth last year. I don't see that same thing. Boy, she looks much better. And talk about that charisma, though. There's the crab. You think she ain't going to be tough to beat, Carla?
I don't know. I'd say in this top 5, she's going to be smoking.
All right, this is Mary Hovey. Grand Blanc, Michigan. You know, interesting, Basilone went very short. A lot of the women go as much as 3 minutes. Is there a time limit? Does it hurt them going less or more?
Technically, there is a time limit of 1.5 minutes, 90 seconds. Unfortunately, many women don't understand that the longer you're out there, the longer the judges have to look past your strong points and see your flaws and weaknesses. When you're in top condition, you always leave them wanting something more.
Oh, she's got exceptional lats.
Yeah, her upper body is tremendous. She's got a very long midsection, so it makes her lats look outstanding, and they seem to tie right down into her lower back.
Carla, what about the legs? Is she lean in the legs versus the rest of the body?
From what I can see here, she looks very balanced. However, after seeing some of the sweep on those lightweight quads, I'd say she is a little lean in the legs.
Normally, a heavier weight class for her. I think she has done this smartly, though. She's maintained muscle and symmetry. She looks good.
I'll tell you something, Irv. If you come in hard, many times you can beat women who have better sweep than you do, but do not get hard. And that's where her advantage is going to be.
All right. We had a chance to talk to Susan Tigert. She took a break from competition. She was tired of the potential and not winning.
California.
I took a break because I was entering contests at a lower body weight than I am now, and I think for about 3 years I was the girl with the most potential. And I decided I didn't want potential anymore. I wanted to be there. So I took 2 years off to train, gain a little weight, and train heavy and put the muscle on. And it worked. It worked real well for me.
You'll be interested to see what the judges think. I got a chance to watch her a little this morning. Boy, you talk about quality head to toe. I thought she had it. Redondo Beach, California. This is Susan Tigert.
Susan's been around for a long time, and she has been up and down, believe me. I'm a close friend of Susan's. She has taken that potential and made the most of it. I would say of all the competitors I've ever seen in this sport, there have only been less than a handful that have what I call professional potential. Look at her quads.
That overall package is eye-catching. She looks great.
She's an extremely sexy mover, and I don't mean to push sex as anything in the sport, but it's true. If you can move on stage, it is a definite plus.
Somebody was talking this morning, and I'm really not familiar with the lady, Juliette Bergman. Compared her to Juliette Bergman, maybe you can comment. I'm not, I don't know.
I can understand why they did, because Susan and Juliette share an almost unshakable balance in physique. The kind of balance that no matter how cut or uncut you are, it just slaps you in the face.
Proportion, structure, I'll tell you. Head to toe, that's a lot of quality. Susan Tigert took that break from competition, tired of that potential. There's Susan Springsteen, young lady who lost 30 pounds. Valerie Basilone, oh, tough to beat. Very tough. Look at that eye contact. Maryanne, very muscular. Slam winner in 1983, and we're going to watch Lisa Smith. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They got a pretty good football team down there. Also got a pretty good little bodybuilder here in Lisa. You know, question that came up today, and I couldn't answer. I'm going to throw it at you. How do you get involved in the pros, get into the pros, like Lisa Smith, who we're watching? How does she get in the pros?
Well, Lisa, obviously, physique-wise, has the qualities of a pro. She's got good V-sweep, narrow waistline with well-developed legs and calves. She would have to win this overall competition and then go to the World Amateur Championships, which, by the way, this year is held in Singapore. She'd have to win that, and then she could go directly to the Miss Olympia. It wasn't always that way, though. When I won it, you would go directly as the overall winner into the Miss Olympia. Now they've changed it so there's more of a lead time, because a lot of these women were hitting the American championships or the nationals, then going to the world, and then having to compete in Olympia, and they were burned out by then.
How about Lisa's overall package?
She has no weaknesses. I would put her on the same par as Susan Tigert, who we saw in the other class. Only thing is that I would say she could be a little harder in the legs, but she's really well developed. Everything seems to be evenly developed, and she's got good symmetry and balance.
Middleweight competition means you can weigh no more than 125.5 or less than 114.5. We started with 125 competitors. We've had the lightweight champion. We're trying to determine the middleweight champion. Up next, Renee Casella. Once again, the set I find to be very attractive. Oakland, California. I think we talked a little bit about this off the air. Is the set distracting, or does it help the bodybuilder?
I think in this case, this set is absolutely fabulous. It's not overdone, it doesn't look plastic, and it complements the physiques that are being seen. The backdrop really sets off a lot of the suit colors that you're seeing and the tans.
Talk about a back. This is a great back we're seeing from Renee Casella from Oakland. Oh.
Now, remember what I said about our previous Lisa Smith. This woman is definitely showing a lot more hardness than Lisa did. Had Lisa had this kind of hardness along with her balance, she would be at the top of this class. However, I don't think that this class is going to be an easy one. You can do anything in it.
A lot of talent in the middleweight class. Renee from Oakland, California. Do you see any apparent weaknesses? Obviously, there's got to be weaknesses in everybody if you were judging.
Just from the side, she looks a little long and lean in her calves, and I have that same problem where it looks like you've got nothing but bone. You've actually got developed calves, but they're very high set. She's also doing something that I think is very difficult to do, posing to very soft music. She's done it well, though.
Renee Casella, Oakland, California. All right, up next is Laura Cravell. There's Laura, former cheerleader.
Laura is originally from Toronto, Canada, but is now living in Los Angeles, California. Many international competitors do that sort of thing. If the competition isn't tight enough in their particular country and they want to excel, they move to the United States and gain their citizenship and compete.
How many calories, when you're in training, actual training, you take in a day?
Depends on your size and how much muscle you have. If you're heavily muscled women like Laura, and the women in the middleweights and heavyweights can take in anywhere up to 3,000 calories. That seems a lot, but you're also maintaining a lot of hard muscle.
How about you personally? What can you take in with your metabolism?
Anywhere from 1,500 to 2,300 calories in preparation for a contest, but you do bring it down right before a contest.
Laura Cravell, Los Angeles, California. Middleweight competition. Here's Lisa Smith. Lisa looks good. And Casella, Renee Casella. And that impressive back. Looks so good. All right, we're ready for the pose down as we determine who the middleweight champion will be. 1986 NPC Women's Bodybuilding Championship. My thought, Carla, it was not easy to come up with those five. I saw a lot of competition in this particular classification, middleweights.
This was a tough class. Let's see how they place them.
All right, here we go. Let's see who upstages who. Immediately, Cravell jumps back, and there's Buckles.
Buckles looks exceptionally hard with this crew, as does Hovey. Basilone looks good. Laura, I didn't think looked as sharp here as she did in the USA's, so we'll see how she does.
Any advantage? Laura jumps up on the elevated portion of the set. Is that an advantage?
Sure, you take the focal point away from the other people because the judges are going to follow you to see what you're doing. It can also work against you, though, that you've got out of the crowd and no one sees you.
Judge along with us at home. Who's it going to be? Hovey, Basilone, Buckles, Riddell, or Tiger? Little cottonmouth right now, I would imagine, Carla.
Oh, for sure. This is the worst part of it.
Our PA announcer is Peter Potter, and we'll try and pick that up as soon as he is ready to do his thing. They'll start with the 5th place winner. Middleweight division, once again, 114.5 to 125.5. And they just about ready. Peter Potter, our PA announcer. Let's see if we can pick him up now as we're ready for our judge's decision.
The 5th place goes to Suzanne Tiger. So Suzanne, please step forward.
Oh, I think that was a bad call. I have to agree with the audience there.
The 4th
Bad
place
call.
to Laura Criaval.
Laura Criaval in 4th place. Laura can use some
3rd
work on the
place
calves.
to number 44, Velma Buckles.
So it comes down to Hovey and Basilone.
And now we're down to just 2 competitors. The runner-up, Mary Hovey, and the winner of the middleweight class. Okay, first let's get Mary her trophy. And the winner, number 49, Valerie Basilone.
Basilone showed that hardness and
Presented
that
by John Carl Meek.
sultry look.
She did have that unmistakable look about her. I thought the eye contact was sensational. There's the promoter, John Carl Meese. And here's our winner of the middleweight competition, Valerie Basilone. Last year, contender in Detroit, was a little smooth last year. Boy, not this year.
I'm sorry if I have to say that I disagree with Tiger in 5th place.
I like Tiger very much. I just thought there was quality head to toe. Look at the eye contact. Here's your winner.
She's really playing into those judges. She's in shape, she's hard, and she's going to represent the U.S. in Singapore.
I'm looking good, and I know it. All right, we'll be back. We're going to talk with this young lady right after this.
Going to do good. I'm not going to do anything right. But this time I was so mad and so angry, and I thought, I just got to do good. I've just got to do good. So positive's been all the way this time.
Well, you really put on something super sultry and wonderful out there. Do you think they really appreciated that helped you?
I hope so. Sometimes you wonder how much plays in the role when you're up there on the stage, but I felt like, you know, I wanted it, and I just thought, I'm going to go out and grab it no matter what.
Truly the power of positive thinking, hey?
Will you come down in a year or so?
Oh, no, I don't want to come down.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Carla, I guess there's no need to come down. Why should she? She had a good time. She did the job.
Basilone combined the hardness and overall balance to take this class. However, I thought that Tiger should have been up in 3rd, but it's a tough way to go when you've got so many good women to judge.
All right, coming up next, the heavyweights. Stick with us for your stomach and your lower back.
Lots of people have problems with their lower back when doing exercises for their stomach. Here's an exercise that ought to be able to get you around the lower back stress. One thing to always remember, though, in working your stomach is to keep your lower back contracted to the floor. Now, these are called rollbacks, the opposite of sitting up. Many people have stress and strain because they arch their backs as they pull up. Well, these rollbacks prevent that. Sit up straight, back up, place your hands underneath your knees. Now, exhale and feel like you're pushing the small of your back through a keyhole. Round it and keep it rounded. Go back as far as you can until you feel that stomach tighten up. And now let go and hold for a count of 10. Remember, don't arch. Don't throw your pelvis forward. Keep it tight. You'll feel that stomach tightening up. Now, when you've held for 10 counts, Come back up, breathe deep, and relax. Let's try that again. You're rolling, rounding the back, push all the way back, hold, bring those arms up, 10 counts, and relax. Now your maximum position in this, as you get stronger, is to push the small of the back to the floor and hold. See how nice and flat that stomach is? And come back up. I guarantee that this will get your stomach into shape in short time.
Well, it sure worked for my partner, Carla Dunlap, 1983, the Grand Slam winner. Heavyweight competition, 125.5 and on up. And we'll follow Mona Arvanitis and her routine here. Mona from Stanton, California.
Mona showing tremendous arms with a good peak in that front bicep shot. Mona's also posing to a piece of music that is very emotional. She's using it quite well. As a matter of fact, the last person I saw use this brought tears to my eyes, and that was Stella Martinez in her quest for the USA Championships.
What about the overall package here?
Mona's pretty well balanced. She's got well-developed legs, very long calves. I would say maybe a tad more size on her calves, but overall she's got good balance. She's in excellent condition.
Another of the bodybuilders from California, Mona Arvanitis. This is heavyweight competition at the James L. Knight Center in Miami, Florida.
As I said before, slow music is very hard to pose to because you have to be able to utilize the music and be very dramatic. It almost needs a fill-in, whereas you can bop and groove with fast music. With slow music, you must show control and really work your crowd.
You know, you make an excellent point, because I've always felt delays in any type of athletic event can be costly. If it's snappy and quick, and I would have to think it's the same in bodybuilding. It's to your advantage.
Pacing always has a lot to do with how you present yourself. She's utilizing her movements well. She's doing hardcore shots, so she's showing lots of muscle. As far as I'm concerned, she's underplaying her weak points, and she is utilizing all of her strengths. She's doing a good job here.
That's a good pose.
Nice finish. She's building up to her ending. Great.
She capped that off well. Okay, Janice Grazer, and she's got a sister who competes, Charla Sadaka, and she talks about the support from her sister.
My sister lives in Texas, and I live in Virginia, and we call each other at least once a week on the phone and really give each other a lot of support. We compare our training and our diet, and I feel she is my best friend, and we really help each other out.
Well, what are sisters for? Janice Grazer, appreciate her remarks from Newport News, Virginia. Heavyweight competition.
Support from anybody is necessary in this sport when you consider that you've got to prepare. Many of these women start dieting 3 months out from a contest, and believe me, when you start getting to the point where your body fat is low, you're under pressure to get into top condition and maintain your normal lifestyle, it can be trying.
Would you comment on this statement that one of the dirtiest things to do to bodybuilders would be to have competition the day after Thanksgiving?
It is pretty dirty. That's what the IFBB is doing to the professionals this year in the Miss Olympia. November 29th, we've got to step on stage, so I guess you can carve up Thanksgiving.
Janice Grazer.
Janice looks a little thick from the side. She's got good thickness. However, many bodybuilders make the mistake of not controlling their midsection as and therefore it tends to make them look very thick through their midsection. Women who are particularly muscular, the serratus and the abs and whatnot, must be careful to control the midsection. She's got good depth in her delts, traps, legs.
Good pose for her right there.
Definitely is.
And Janice has got the crowd involved with her.
I would say Janice probably needs a little more sweep in her upper back, a little widening of the lats so that to give the impression that her waistline is a little narrower than what you're seeing here. Other than that, I don't see many more weaknesses.
All right. So Janice finishes it. Here's Mona Arvantes. Pretty balanced physique, always competitive times I've had a chance to see it. All right, stick around. We've got more coming up right after this message for bodybuilders.
I have never felt so right on stage. For a while, I was always, oh, I have to weigh 190. Now I weighed in today, or yesterday rather, at 166. I'm more ripped. I feel much more comfortable with the muscularity than I've ever felt in my life. If I win this contest, I'm going to contend with you in the Olympia, darling.
Nicole Bass, who has 17-inch biceps, claims to be the biggest, heaviest, tallest, and strongest woman bodybuilder ever to enter a sanctioned event.
Let me tell you, when I first met her, it was at Miami, same place, last year at the Men's Nationals. My boyfriend turned around and he said, I want you to look behind you. And there was Nicole, and I came up to her armpit, and her delts were as big as my head.
She's really had an obsession with bodybuilding. Ever since she walked into a South Miami gym, she wanted to shed some of her pounds. Apparently she didn't like. She felt that she was heavy, she was fat. And she wanted to walk in and meet some of the cute guys, quoting her.
Well, she apparently was very successful at doing that because she's married to and co-owns the Natural Physique Gym in New York City. So for her physique, she's got the perfect place to do it, her own gym.
Carla, what's interesting, you know, she used to describe herself as a pig-out artist. Now it's all fish, vitamins, and vegetables, and an occasional off-season pig-out, as she calls it.
Nicole is making rapid improvements. She has basically the frame to put on size and lots of it, and that's exactly what she's going to have to do. Unfortunately, being that tall, she's going to have to put on 4 times the amount of muscle that a shorter sister bodybuilder would.
All right, let's see if you can break her down a little bit. She has gone from a 33-inch waist to a 26-inch waist as we watch her leave, but Nicole Bass, we'll see what the judges think about her. All right, this is Cathy Palyo. So Cathy has had a lot of experience.
Cathy's a crossover athlete. She used to compete for the AAU and in the AAU, and I'm sure that a lot of people that are familiar with bodybuilding know that there was a little disagreement between the AAU and the NPC for several years, and the athletes were worried that it may hurt their chances competing in either one of the associations.
Tell you one thing, she has built that body in the gym. That looks like a bodybuilder's bodybuilder.
Cathy's upper body reminds me more than anyone else of a combination of Mary Roberts and Claire Furr.
Carla, she just explodes when she flexes. She has muscularity.
Her torso's tremendous. Her legs need more size to actually match up with her upper body, but she's no slouch in the leg department either. And she's posing. She is utilizing everything. Look at those delts.
Well, she's great with the mandatory poses. I saw that this morning.
Yeah, she looked outstanding in prejudging. She is.
Can we test a beat, isn't she?
Them. Look at that lat spread.
Cathy Palyo, number 79 is the number they've assigned her. She is going to be tough.
She's not that tall either. She's a little bit taller than I am, and she just is in tremendous condition here. Palyo's going to carry on the tradition of Diana Dennis, Mary Roberts, Claire Furr. Just big size, refined to the nth degree. Oh.
Right there. And she flexes. Boom. She is impressive. Cathy Palyo, this is heavyweight competition. Oof.
I dare say that's heavyweight.
There are judges up front. We're at the James L. Knight Center in Miami, Florida. All right, this is Tara Dodane.
Now, even though Palyo had tremendous upper body size, this woman is big all over. She's great legs. It doesn't seem that way now since I've seen her in prejudging, but I was really impressed with her.
Tara's been in the sport 5 years. A cheerleader, gymnast, competed in track. She was a cheerleader at Ball State.
I think that Tara, though, is going to have to get as hard as the Palyo in order to really hang tight with the big women. She is big, she's got good balance, and I would dare say that if she could just get a little bit more water out from under the skin, she'd be trouble.
A lot of personality. She's a science teacher, junior high. And I have to agree with that. I don't think she's quite hard enough from what I just saw. It's tough to follow a Palyo, but symmetry looks good.
You got to give him time. Give him time.
She does know how to play to an audience. She's doing a very good job. I want to talk to her when she comes off. Tara Dodane, the school teacher. Impressive interview as she winds it down. Hey, a nice, bouncy performance.
Thank you, thank you. I was a cheerleader at college.
Well, it paid off tonight?
Oh, definitely. I'm not afraid of a crowd. I teach school. How can you be afraid of a crowd?
Better not be. Is the future ahead of you?
Always, always. I'm so thrilled with the way I look compared to what I used to. I'm so happy with my lifestyle. I have nothing to lose.
If we could just get you out of your shell.
I'm a little introverted, right?
Good luck to you.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, there's Cathy Palyo. We saw Tara. She's got some personality with those kids. All right, we're in the heavyweight competition. Got a lot more coming up. We're in Miami, Florida, at the James L. Knight Center. Got a lot of bodybuilders in that state.
I love her entrance here. She's doing a moonwalk. And I love the back cut of her suit. It's done for a reason because she has got phenomenal glutes. Leg tie-ins are fabulous. This woman's got a lot of potential. Obviously a gymnast at some point in her life.
Very serious poser now. She lightens up a little bit.
She's utilizing everything. Good controlled moves into hard muscle shots.
Got a lot of athletic ability, I'll tell you that. Just watching her flex like that and stretch.
Music change. She's keeping her posing to showing her strong points, which obviously are. She's got very well-balanced legs, good calf development, sweep of the thighs. Her glutes are tremendous, as I said before. I don't see very many weaknesses here, except for possibly balancing her arm size, her biceps and triceps with her tremendous delt development.
Carla, once again, hate to be redundant, but the crowd is very much into this. It's going to be a shorter tune. It's snappier. And I've seen during slower music, if the routine isn't right on the money, they lose the audience.
Good transitions. This lady's really got it going. The cross-striated thighs.
Does the crowd affect the judges?
They shouldn't, but they tend to if they really voice their opinions as far as applause and whatnot.
Well, I like her. This is Jacqueline Paisley, Tempe, Arizona. Up next, heavyweight competition from Miami, Florida. We're going to get a chance to look at Sandy Riddell. Once again, this is at the James L. Knight Center. Sandy makes her way up on the stage.
You know, Herb, did you know that Sandy Riddell is a firefighter out in Arizona?
And it's not hot in Arizona, that's a myth. Sandy, the 84 Arizona champ. We got a chance to talk to the competitors this morning. A tremendous personality. And she has visible muscularity. Whoa, look at that.
If you had to carry around as much weight as these firefighters do to drag around the ladders and the shovels and do all that stuff, you'd have a body like this too. It must serve her well in work.
I'll tell you one thing, she's got great body awareness. She knows how to carry herself. Look at the thighs.
Now let's analyze Sandy's physique. Sandy has put much more size on her upper body. She's the fullest delts I've seen in a long time, aside from Palyo, whom we saw earlier. Her leg development has always been good. She's got to work for a little more calf size and a little more outer thigh sweep, but outside of that, this woman has got muscle to do battle with.
Only been in it 2.5 years, single. Used to compete in track. As Carla mentioned, a firefighter.
You know, something that always bugs me about sometimes when bodybuilders do leg extensions is that they should remember to point their toes. I mean, that's just a little pet peeve of mine because it ruins the line of the leg. You get these gorgeous ripped legs and then you get down to relaxed toes.
She's going to figure.
Oh, for sure. Big girl, too.
Well, she does have muscularity. Whoa, the crowd liked her. Very attractive, very muscular. Sandy Riddell. All right, this is Michelle Santos, Venice, California.
I've seen Michelle. When Michelle first came out on the scene, wait until you see this. I hope that you pan down to her legs.
Well, while we're waiting, as we get a pan
Look
of the
at
leg.
these legs. Have you ever heard of Cushing syndrome? Cushing syndrome is when a person carries most of their fat in their upper body. Now, while Michelle doesn't have Cushing syndrome, she has the characteristics of it. Her legs are always ripped. This girl could be off-season, and her legs always look like that.
Her legs are better than her upper body.
She has a little work to do in more or less detailing her upper body to match her legs, because her legs are way ahead of her upper body as far as cross striation.
Carla, two thoughts I need a comment from you on. One, it looks to me like she has excellent skin tone. She also has glitter in her hair. Is that a negative? The last one first?
As I said, her skin tone is wonderful. She tends to be dark-skinned to begin with. But the glitter, I don't find it distracting. However, I don't think it belongs in competition.
Excellent poser.
Here it goes. Boom. Oh, those thighs are just mind-boggling.
Michelle Santos. Oh, did a nice job. All right, we'll be back. Got a lot more ahead. Stick with us on ESPN. Look at Karen Rodriguez, Burlingame, California. Didn't get the cue right away. Does this disconcert her?
She's handling it pretty well because she's basically still standing a little off stage. But some people, it can really undo them, and they get very nervous. The best thing to do is to just stop, cue the judges that your music is off, and just walk off stage until they get it right. I think what our viewers can't see is that Karen is very tall. She's not as tall as Nicole, but this woman has got height. She must be about 5'10", 5'11", and it is solid muscle. Now, if I were just to shorten her hair, she would remind me of Corey Everson, the current Miss Olympia.
I got a chance to see her up in Montreal. You were involved in that competition. This is Karen Rodriguez.
She's got everything. She's got everything. I say she's a little wide in the waistline, but for the quality of muscle this woman is showing, we can expect to see a lot more of her in the future. Nice
stage presence.
As much as I hate to say, here's a woman who has everything. She's got the height that will make her look awesome on stage once she packs a little more size on. She's got the looks. Her presentation isn't that far off. And she gets hard. She's got hard glutes a little more on the thigh, sweep from the side. She's got potential to be a Miss Olympia.
And as you've said with other competitors, the suit really helps her with the glutes because it's made for it.
Sure.
Karen Rodriguez got off slow because they didn't hit the music right away, but boy, she's coming on. I'd like to. Karen Rodriguez. Adrienne Foster, college track star, and that's really how she got into weightlifting.
In college, we started lifting weights because I threw the shot put and the discus, and I was thinking about going to powerlifting, and I saw a women's competition on TV, and I decided I liked that much more.
Besides track, Carla, she was involved with volleyball. She's been a bodybuilder for 6 years, single. Saw her in Detroit. She was in the couples contest, finished 3rd. She was also in the women's competition, finished 15th. Adrienne Foster from Huntington, New York.
Yes, as I remember, she posed with Jose Guzman, and they really, a lot of people thought that they should have placed a lot higher than 3rd, probably 1.
Huntington. Big heavyweight fighter by the name of Jerry Cooney, I believe. Same town?
They must have a lot of muscle out there, not just of the bodybuilding kind.
Adrienne Foster.
Now, here's something. I'm going to pick at this. Adrienne has put on a lot of size as far as her physique is concerned. Calves are good. Her legs are probably her only weakness as far as depth by comparison to some of the other women. The back of her suit, if you notice, had her strings hanging down, and most professionals would go ahead and tie that off and make it as small as possible. It seems like a little picky thing, as I said again, but you have to be so polished because when it comes to physique and things are so close, judges start picking on the littlest things to make a decision.
You bring up a good point. If it comes down to push and shove, it could cost you. I remember her very well with Guzman in Detroit. They were a very effective couple, I felt.
Adrienne looks sharp here. She's hard. She poses well. She always seems to have ultimate personality when she hits that stage and starts posing. She's in a tough field this time, though.
This is the first bodybuilder, I think, that I've seen that has been in volleyball. That's going to mean vertical leap, a lot of athletic ability.
Now you know where those calves came from on her.
There's the crab.
She looks excellent. I would also say that Adrienne may want to do something with her hair as far as it throwing her symmetry off.
All right. That's our last competitor. We're going to find out who the winner is now because we'll get to the pose down. Stick with us. Comes up right after this. Got a nice tip for you from Carla. Hey, even a couch potato can do this. Watch.
You know, a beautiful neckline really takes years off of anyone's age. One of the ways to get it is to make sure that you keep these muscles in tone. No one looks good when their jowls hang down and their neckline sags. One of the ways to prevent it is easy. Reduces the stress and helps you to keep a long, lean line. Gradually bring your head down and stretch the chin so that it touches the chest. And now roll to the side, stretching, and make sure that you don't hunch your shoulders. Keep the shoulders down. Now continue on to the back, stretching to the back, and finally around to the other side. Make sure that you pause on each side. Come to the front. Now drop the head back with the mouth open, close the mouth, and pull the head forward. Try that again. Back with the mouth open, close the mouth with the head still back, and come forward. And complete with a circle going to the other direction. Not only does this help to shape up the neckline, but it also helps to relieve that tension from sitting all day or from writing, from leaning forward.
Hey, that was all right, Carla. This is all right, too. Here are our 5 finalists. Who's it going to be? Dodane, Riddell, Palyo, Ventus, or Santos.
I tell you, there's some big muscle up here. Most people aspire to be a heavyweight if they can help it in bodybuilding, and the reason why is that you see some big guns up here.
Well, the body fat just is not there either. They're in great shape.
I'll tell you.
Look at the abs on Palyo.
This one's going to be a rough one to pick. I mean, I can go to 5, but let's see what happens.
All right, let's see what happened. Let's go to our PA announcer, Peter Potter. Been doing a good job all day.
First trophy to Michelle Santos. Michelle, takes...
Interesting pick.
Mm-hmm. A lot of muscularity there. Attractive.
The fourth place, as soon as John has it, to Mona Arventis.
Well, there's Mona. And maybe a little straight up and down, but boy.
The third place to Tara Dodane.
Ooh. Yeah, Tara needed to be a little hard, a little more ripped.
Future's up front for her, though.
The runner-up in the heavyweight class, number 84, Sandy Riddell.
So that means that our winner is Cathy Palyo.
And duplicating her feat at our recent USA, the winner of the heavyweight, Cathy Palyo.
All right, so Cathy, the winner.
Irv, you know, I think that
you'll step up on
Cathy
the podium.
Actually outed Lisa on
Let's
posing.
have a few poses.
Because, in my opinion, I think
5
Riddell
finalists.
may be a little more balanced than Cathy.
Mm-hmm. A couple extra poses here. Well, we've seen all 3 winners now, and we're going to review. We need an overall. Of course, our lightweight winner, Lori Okami. She was the lightweight champion. Show you a few poses. Lori Okami. Overall package from Honolulu. She won the lightweight competition. This is Valerie Basilone, the middleweight. She seemed to be an easy winner. Symmetry, the whole package, and once again, that eye contact, she's got it. There's Valerie doing her thing. And the heavyweight champion, Cathy Palyo. All right, we've got some more. As we take a look at Cathy, you stick with us. We'll be back right after this.
It's taken a long time. It's been 5 years, but it's a lot of hard training. You got to love it and hang in there, and it'll come.
Cathy, if you win this overall, will you go the way that Diana Dennis and Claire Furr have gone on to the World Amateurs?
I sure hope so. I hope to go in there and do it the right way, come up through the ranks, pay my dues, and get to the pros the way I should.
On to the Olympia, eh?
I hope so.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll see who our overall winner is going to be. Why don't you grade along with us? Is it going to be Lori Okami, Cathy Palyo, Valerie Basilone? 3 classifications. There's Valerie.
And I remember that whoever wins this overall will represent the United States at Singapore toward the end of the year 1986.
Are the judges awed here by the bigger women? Okay, this is the lightweight, Okami. This is the middleweight, Basilone. What about Palyo? Will they be awed by the bigger woman?
Well, you can't really say that because I think Okami, pound for pound, has as much muscle as any of the 2 heavier women.
All right, this pose.
In my opinion here, I think that Okami and Palyo have outdone Basilone because they have much more thickness and hardness.
Here's the triceps.
Here I'd have to give it to Basilone. Basilone has a long tricep head. She looks good.
All right, let's take a look at the abdominals.
In the abdominal department, I would say that's Palyo all the way.
Gentleman in the background, Jim Mannion, our chief judge.
neither one of the heavier women have legs as good as Okami. However, Okami is not nearly as hard as she needs to be to give these two a run for the money.
They are not upstaging each other like we've seen the men. What's the deal here?
I'm telling you, I agree with you. This is a very sedate pose down. I'm used to the Olympia where you practically get knocked off the stage, you know, trying to upstage each other. I think sometimes that works against the bodybuilders. You know, the crowd needs to be whipped up, and they're looking for who can be aggressive on stage, and when it's a sedate pose down like this, it tends to be a little anticlimactic.
Really a little bit of a change. Saw the Mr. Universe contest. That got a little hectic.
Last year on the Olympia stage, it got a little hectic, too.
Who's going to be? Palyo? Basilone? Okami?
I like Okami as the overall package, but Palyo definitely looks awesome.
So much muscularity for the heavyweight.
I think the reason I'm freaked out about Okami is because for the tiny size, she is packing some muscle on her with good shape overall. But I don't know. I don't know where the judges are going to go this time.
Keep in mind, Okami cannot weigh more than 114 and a half by the rules.
Yeah, but she looks like she weighs about 150.
Well, the pose down was a little disappointing, to be very honest with you. It was just low-key. Maybe they had used all their energy in their individual routines. So we'll wait for the winner here. You have a thought?
It's been a long day, and I think these women are not knowing where the judges are going to go.
Our overall national champion, 86 national champion, is contestant number 79, Cathy Palyo.
And so Cathy has done what almost nobody has done before, gone from the USA, won the overall in the USA, and now, a couple of months later, she goes into the heavyweight championship at the Nationals and wins the overall.
The audience here at the James L. Knight Center, Cathy Palyo. All right, let's take a look at her performance as we saw the trophy. Here's the winner overall.
Cathy put on an emotional performance. It was sharp. She utilized showing her strengths, which are her upper body. Her torso is incredibly thickly muscled, particularly her delts and upper back. Her traps literally sit on top of her shoulders and just stand out. She's very hard, good skin tone. She's projecting confidence. She has all the earmarks of an excellent representative for the United States at the World Amateur Championships.
From the state of California, the current California champ. I thought she was excellent with her mandatory poses.
Well, you liked it because the minute you saw her body, you said to me, boy, that's a bodybuilder's bodybuilder.
Yeah, she just looks like she is built it in the gym.
Her husband's quite proud of her, too, because he's a retired athlete, and he said he lives through her competition. Well, she certainly brought him to the pinnacle this time.
Not sure if she still swims a lot. She used to do a lot of swimming. There's the crab.
She'd make a wonderful butterfly. She could tie her legs together and just use her shoulders.
There's the winner. Cathy Palyo. Just explodes. Look at her explode, Carla, when she flexes.
That's what a physique has to do. It has to jump out at you. It can't just be something that doesn't change. Every time you hit a pose, it's got to come right out from under your skin. And she's working up and down, smiling, changing her facial expression. A winner. A true winner.
There's our winner. We want to talk to her. We're going to do that when we come back. We're in Miami. Stick around.
How do you feel?
I feel great. This has been a long time coming, a lot of hard work, a lot of water under the bridge, a lot of tears, and a lot of missed pizzas, but it's worth it.
Miss Pizzas, that's interesting. Saw you last year in Detroit, and this was your night, obviously, where last year a little disappointing.
Last year was not disappointing at all for me. It was my first national show, and I went in hoping to make it in the top 10, and I took 4th, and it was a tough class, so I was real proud of that.
What's ahead for you now?
Singapore. I'm ready to go. I'm real excited about it.
Do you get to eat tonight?
I don't know. I'll have to ask my husband. He's pretty good about that. I'll probably have a little something. We got to celebrate, right? But after that, I'll probably be back on the diet and 3 months of hard training.
You know, as good a shape as you're in, you may have a tough time lifting that big trophy, so maybe you better get him to help you.
Yeah, I'll try.
Once again, congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
Carla, do you have a final thought? It's been quite an evening.
Well, we've had Basilone, Palyo, and Okami, who are going to be the U.S. team to the World Championships in Singapore in December. And I think we're going to be well represented. I think
agree
we
with
had a good year this year.
Enjoyed working with you very much.
Same here.
That's going to do it for Carla Dunlap. This is Irv Brown. Good night, everybody. 1986 NBC Women's National Bodybuilding Championship brought to you by Michelob. Exceptionally smooth, distinctive, taste is wide. The night belongs to Michelob.